Chai, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Chai, Cauliflower Howard Howard Chai, Bachin Howard Kakadach, double honor to the elder apostle, the great minister Wu Will, sincere citation of oxygen put to the truth across the four corners of the earth, to the spirit and power of Howard Chai, that the hope will elect. Citation of Israelite foreigners that are scattered among all the nations of the four corners of the earth, that believe in the name of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and shalom to the sister and family that are tuned into the doctrine that preach around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you, who the world inwardly called God, his name is Yahweh, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. As a Hebrew Israelite that consists of you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, and those who line descendants go back one of the 12 tribes of Israel. There's the article it's there on sfgate.com, which is San Francisco Gate. And the smoke from California wildfire is now visible in Kansas. Alright. Pretty much all the wildfire going on out here in the state of California. Now it's so bad or so big that other states can see it as far as Kansas. And that's pretty big. It's the picture that's taken. That's picture. It's a view of the sun taken late on August 22nd in Dodge City, Kansas. Wildfire smoke from Northern California as well as Colorado had drifted into the Midwestern region. So it's affecting other states. Now put in the distance between California. Load up. This is driving, so a day and an hour, so pretty much it's about a 25-hour drive. Alright, but the mile is almost 2,000 miles, 1,805 miles. That's how far it is, and that's how far it's visible to see the smoke. So the reason why I did this, or I'm doing this video, because this article going into about the visibility of the smoke from the fire in California all the way out to the Midwest in Kansas is how America is going to be to the rest of the world. Okay? How when America is going to get destroyed, the rest of the whole world will be able to see it. Alright? We're just talking about one state that's visible within the United States. But imagine the whole not the whole continent, but this whole state on fire, or America from west to east. So these other nations will be able to see that. And Revelation 18 going to that, being that it's the prophecy, and being that the year of prophecy 2020 is going into prophecy. Alright? So America could be destroyed by way of thermonuclear fires. Alright, I could be a missile from other countries. And just gonna get into it. I'm gonna just probably end up reading the majority of the scriptures, but it's key point that's gonna go into the smoke. It's the Revelation 18 and 1, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried, cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. That's talking about America. It has become the habitation of devil, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Alright? So that's the only thing that could be inhabiting its place, America, after it's destroyed. All right. It said, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." Like it. And the king of the earth hath committed fornication with her, and the merchant of the earth, or waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Like America is consuming nation. All right, America is a consumerism nation. All right, so these other nations make their money by selling their goods here to America. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partaker of her sins, that ye receive not of her plague." Right? Because this plague, is, the ultimate plague is what? The ICD mitzvah. All right? Only the elect, the one third, and the 144,000 in the one third are going to come up out of the ways of America, so they won't be destroyed and be partaker of the judgment that Yahweh shall have in this place. Okay? Especially you people that can take the RFID chip, with the mark of the beast, spoken of in Revelation 13. All right? These people are going to get judged, as it tells you in Revelation 14 and in 19. All right, for taking that RFID chip, with the mark of the beast. Verse 5, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." Right, and that's how America is. That's Esau Edom. That's his mindset. The scripture said, uh, and it's thought that his house shall last forever. All right, but no, that's a step down, as it's telling you in Daniel, that he shall not pass. All right. So, verse 8, "Therefore shall her plague come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judges her." All right, all these things are going to take place before the ultimate judgment, which is fire. All right, thermonuclear fire at that, the lake of fire, as it tells you in Revelation 19. Okay, verse 9, "And the king of the earth who hath committed fornication and lived illicitly with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning." See, that shows you that America wants to get burned. That's instead the king of the earth, the other nation going to be thinking that. All right, they can see that from their home nation. So they can be able to see that. They shall see the smoke of her burning. So they can be able to see that. Verse 10, "Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon," was talking about America, "that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." Alright, because it takes about 30 minutes or less for those missiles, like to be a missile to come from one end of the earth to the over here to America. Alright? And the merchant of the earth shall, and that's why when I saw this article, the smoke from California wildfire seen as far as Kansas, about um, how America is going to be seen to the world. Okay? I'm going to jump down to 14. The fruit that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchant of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her, torment, weeping, and railing. So they could be, like I said, they could be thinking this from afar off. You have merchant, the ship merchant in her ship, all right, in the ocean, as well as people in those countries, all right. That it's America on the map, all right. Don't let me do me any murder, but like down here in South America, let me cut that out. So mainly over here in Europe and China, they could be able to see that. So over here, they could be able to do the distance. That's just this direction to. Don't let me do it. But you get what I'm trying to say. Alright, they'll be able to see that from afar off. Okay. It said, verse 15, and then at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stone and pearl. Alright? It's basically showing you, going through how America is beautified. Alright? Verse 17, for in 1 hour, though great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ship and sailor, and as many as trade by thieves stood afar off. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, the people on the ship, they could be thinking those America is getting burned up too. And cried when they thought the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Alright, there's no city like America. Okay? It's verse 19. And they cast dust on their head and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, I laughed aloud. That great city wherein were made rich all that had ship and the sea by reason of her costliness. For 1 hour she is made desolate, so America could be destroyed. Now going back to verse, verse 9. There was some precept I saw earlier. It's Isaiah 13 and 19 in Babylon, which talk about America, the glory of the kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldees. Ethnicity shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So we all knew what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. It got destroyed, and nobody inhabit that land to this day. Alright? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. So nobody can be going there. It said, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creature, and owls shall drill there. So that's pretty much that could be there. But this is talk about the smoke as a monument. Let me go back. There it is. Isaiah 34 and 9. It said, and the stream thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. Where it can at the point. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Alright? It's not going to be, America's still going to be burning. It's going to be a monument, alright, of how a wicked nation was ruled. And it's the judgment of a wicked nation. Alright? So a wicked rulership. It's pretty much going to how we read earlier Revelation about all these unclean animals that could be dwelling in the land of America after it's destroyed. Close it out with this one. This is Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain, which is government, and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness, whereas Edom said, the so-called white people, we are in bondage, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh shall try the host. They shall build, which is what they doing right now, but I will throw down. They shall call them, so they're going to throw them down with what? With the mental. Now, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh shall strike at indignation forever. Alright, so this place is going to be called the border of wickedness. Alright, because like I mentioned earlier, this is a memorial, of a monument of how a wicked nation ruled and how it got pretty much the judgment of a wicked rulership. Alright. So that's pretty much all of that, man. So hopefully this was edifying to the fear and power of Yahweh shall shine. And with that, shalom.